Hey everybody. Recently a bunch of people asked me if I would do a video talking about my setup that I use to stream and record videos like this, and I figured, why the heck not? I like to talk, and I have a microphone, so let's make that happen. Before I jump too much into exactly what I use, I do want to just kind of put a few caveats out there. One, this is not going to be like an in-depth review of all these products. I'll briefly mention whether I like them or not. But if you want a more in-depth review as to what all these products can do, how much they cost, if I think it's worth it, blah, 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 just ask, and I'll make a video specifically on that one item. I like doing product reviews. I did a product review for Elgato a little over a year ago, where I talked about one of their green screens, and Elgato actually picked it up, and we got to work together on that project, and it was a lot of fun. And I like doing product reviews. I just haven't made that many. So if you hear any of these products and you want me to talk more about how they are, what they do, and the fact that I'm holding a Sharpie in this hand for no reason, then just ask. Another thing I really want to emphasize going into this video is that equipment is useless if you don't know how to use it. You can buy expensive microphones, expensive cameras, expensive lighting and all that stuff, but if you don't know how to properly light a scene, to light yourself, if you don't know how to properly use a camera, if you're using like an XLR or something like that, and you don't know how, like white balancing and exposure and all that stuff, or you buy a microphone like this but you don't understand how to balance it with the proper settings, then it's not going to do you any good. You're better off just sticking to a basic webcam and a USB microphone, because those are a little bit more plug and play. I don't think any equipment is truly plug and play. I think everything that you buy is going to need some sort of tweaking, especially capture cards. A lot of people just think that, I can just plug an HDMI cable into my capture card, plug it into my computer, and it's good to go. The video is on the screen and it looks good, and that's fine. But there's color options, there's all sorts of stuff that you can dig into to make it look even better. And so learning how to use your equipment more effectively will get you a lot farther than just buying good equipment, okay? That if you learn nothing from me, take that one home. And this one too, this one's free as well. Buying better equipment will not make you a better streamer or content creator. There's a lot of advertising campaigns out there. There was a microphone company, I'm not going to name it, but there was a microphone company that just a month or two ago was advertising their microphone, and it's the one that you see everyone using. If you watch the New Heights podcast, or if you watch Joe Rogan Experience, or if you watch major streamers, you see most of them using this one specific microphone, and they kind of advertised it in such a way that they were like, this will make your content better. And no, it won't. Having better equipment doesn't make your content better. You make your content better. The equipment just improves the quality maybe, but trust me, just because your voice sounds good or your face looks good in your camera doesn't mean more people are gonna watch you. Take that one home. Elgato kind of ran into this a few years ago with the release of their Stream Deck, and Elgato never put this out, but a bunch of like Elgato partners and product reviewers and all this stuff, and whether they were paid to say this or not, I can't say, I don't know, but they were saying like, hey, if you buy the Stream Deck, your streams will be better. You will be a better streamer, and I wholeheartedly disagree with that. Buying equipment, spending money on peripherals and gear isn't going to make your content more watchable. It's going to add something to it, but at the end of the day, if you suck at streaming, you can spend all the money on equipment you want. You're still going to suck at streaming, you're just going to look and sound better doing it, okay? Learn how to stream, learn how to tell stories, learn how to be a public speaker. Those things will help you grow your stream and improve as a streamer and stuff like that, but buying a $500 microphone isn't going to do jack squat for you unless you're already good at streaming. Now that all that's out of the way, let's get into what I'm actually using to make my voice sound, the talkings and the face look less ugly, okay? I guess we can start with the audio side of things. This microphone that I'm using here is the Audio-Technica AT2020. It's definitely a lower end XLR microphone. There's two types of microphones that you can buy for your computer. There's an XLR, which cannot plug directly into your computer. There it is. There's two types of microphones you can buy for your computer. There's an XLR microphone, which won't plug into your computer. You have to have some sort of audio interface to deal with it. Or a USB microphone like the Blue Yeti. And you've probably seen this thing around a bunch because this is a very good USB microphone. I used this for years. It's a very good microphone for streaming, talking, all that stuff. If you're ever just getting started, that's maybe what I would recommend. I don't know. But I used that for years. That plugged directly into my computer, and then I had some other software that I would kind of tweak the levels with to make it sound better. Now I have the Audio-Technica AT2020 plugged into my Go XLR, which is my audio interface, and with that as well, I can adjust levels on the fly. I can play sound effects. I can change my voice pitch and make it higher pitch, lower pitch. There's a sensor button. There's different profiles, all sorts of stuff you can do with it that is very handy if you're a content creator or a streamer. Then on my computer, that loads into the Go XLR app where I can tweak things finer and save profiles and make my voice look good. You can change the lighting on it all and make it all different colors and all this sorts of stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's a good program. Program's free with the hardware. If you just download the program but you don't have the Go XLR, it's not going to do anything for it. And then the headphones that I use, I'm pretty picky about my headphones. I don't like Bluetooth headphones. I like wireless headphones. There's a difference. These are Sennheiser HDR 175s. They are big. If you have a big head like I do, they're fantastic. They fit, they're adjustable. The battery packs are in the ears. It has a rechargeable stand that's also your wireless receiver. And then that stand just plugs directly into your computer and you're good to go. I like it a lot. I've had these now for 2 or 3 years. They are starting to fall apart a little bit. You can kind of see the stuff's coming off the ears, and so every now and then when I take them off, I have black stuff on the side of my ears. But these are replaceable, and the battery life in these things lasts. I've gamed for 8-9 hours straight and not had any problem with them. That was before I had a baby. But they're great. I like these. I recommend them. They're great. Moving away from the audio side of things to the video side of things, let's start with the camera first. This webcam here is just a USB webcam. I used to have a camcorder, a video camera plugged into a capture card, and that was my webcam for a long time. And then I got this. This is the Elgato Facecam. And this is probably the best USB best USB webcam I have ever seen, and I don't think anything's ever going to top it for its price point. It's fantastic. I'm not an Elgato evangelist. I know I've worked with them before, and I do use a lot of their products. As we continue to go through the list, you'll hear me say Elgato quite a fefew times. I think in general, Elgato products are overpriced and definitely overhyped, but they do make some good stuff as well. You can buy the Elgato multi-mount, which is just a camera arm that the camera can sit on if you don't want it on. So if I were to put this on my monitor, it'd be down here. I like a high angle, so my webcam's raised up a little bit on a multi-mount arm. Elgato makes one that costs way too much money. You can find one cheaper on Amazon for a third of the price, and it works just fine. It's the same thing. It's just a mount. But the Elgato webcam is fantastic. I love it. I've used it on 2 different computers now, and it saves your settings across it all. It's so good. It looks beautiful, and again, it's not plug and play. You have to take it and you have to set your settings the way you like it, so you have to learn about some video stuff, but then it's really good to go. The second most important thing on top of having a good webcam is having good lighting. And so I have 2 key lights right here, as well as some overhead lighting to light up my room and myself. Without the key lights, this is what I would look like. Not very useful, right? So having good lighting is very important. Learning how to light a scene, that was a skill I learned back in college. Learning how to light a scene is very important, and especially if you're going to use a green screen. But even without it, again, you can see how dark it is in here without these lights. These are the Elgato Key Light Mini. There's 3 different sizes. I'm sorry I don't know the exact one of this. There's 3 different sizes. There's the big rectangular ones, the square ones, and then the mini is like a portable one. These are the square ones. They can't change colors or anything like that. They can change hue a little bit to be like, lighter, darker, warmer, colder, but they're just lights, and they are expensive. I think you can get 2 of them like this with stands and cables for like $200 or something like that. You can get other lights like this on Amazon that do the exact same thing for like $30. Lighting has gotten ridiculously cheap just in the last couple of years. I was lucky enough that these were gifts given to me by my wife a couple years back for Valentine's Day, actually. I like them, and the only reason why I might recommend them is because they can tie into your other Elgato products. Everything Elgato kind of talks to each other, and so the more Elgato stuff you have, the easier it is to control. But if you don't mind just kind of doing a little bit of extra work, you can replicate this setup for a fraction of the price. So that's what I use, is the Elgato Key Light Air. I just remembered, Elgato Key Light Air. I recommend them, I guess. I don't know. I'll go more in depth on that later. But that's my lighting. Along with that comes this thing. The Elgato green screen. Again, there are other green screens out there that do the exact same thing like this for a fraction of the price. And the Elgato green screen isn't electronic, so it doesn't communicate to anything. If you're going to use a green screen, make sure you have a great lighting setup. I actually have a floor light, which is a $5 Walmart LED gooseneck lamp. It's a clamp. It's clamped onto the foot of my desk and has a gooseneck so I can adjust it. And then just a switch that I can kick on and off with my foot. You don't need fancy lighting to light your green screen. A $5 lamp from Walmart will do just fine. There are other green screens out there that work just as fine that don't have the Elgato name on them that will cost you, again, a fraction of the price. I like having a portable green screen like this because, like I mentioned in my last video, the 11-year video, I don't have a streaming office. I am in a shared space. You can see my wife's desk over there. My living room couch is over there. A bunch of boxes I haven't taken care of yet are behind me. This is a shared space, and so for me to be able to pick up my green screen and then you can't tell that I'm in a messy living room is useful to me. But I used a green screen even when I had my own office a lot of the time. But at this point in my life, I would just paint a wall green and just put some strip lights at the top of it or something like that, and then boom, you're done. So if you have your own dedicated stream room and you live in a place where you're able to paint the walls, I would just paint the wall green, and then you don't have to worry about it. It's cheap and easy to do. But if you're in a space like mine where it's shared, maybe you don't want to show off what's behind you, having a portable green screen is very nice. And the Elgato one is nice and big. That's something I will say about it. It's very large. Now, when it comes to actually playing games, I have a 2-PC setup. I usually play the game on my laptop, which is over here, which is an MSI gaming laptop that I got for my 30th birthday 3.5 years ago. It's got a 2060 in it. It's pretty solid. It can run most games no problem. I mean, I was able to play even newer games like Hogwarts Legacy without any issues, really, once I figured out the right settings for it. It's definitely starting to show its age. I mean, a 4-year-old graphics card is starting to wane a little bit, but it still works solidly. It can run GTA, it can run Fortnite no problem. When I stream Fortnite, I'm gaming on that. Genshin Impact, Far Cry 6, trying to think of other games I've run on that thing. Overwatch. It's solid. A 2-PC setup is definitely extra. You don't need a 2-PC setup. I have one just because I have 2 computers, and so I was like, I might as well use a 2-PC setup. I don't love this laptop in particular. It has a design flaw to it that caused it to break about 2 years in, which was right after the warranty expired. So I had to take it to a local guy to get it fixed, and he basically said, he's like, I can make it look brand new, but it's just going to break again, or I can take this part off and it's going to look a little crappy, but it's going to run way better. And I was like, yeah, make it look crappy. So if you look at it right now, it's missing some hinges and stuff like that, but it works just fine. If you get a gaming laptop, don't do what I did and do your homework on it and read product reviews from people, because once I had this problem where the hinges broke on it, I looked it up and everyone was saying, yeah, MSI laptops, they have nice looking hinges, but they break like a year or two in. So do your homework on a gaming laptop. But that's plugged, so that has an HDMI cable that's plugged into my capture card, which my current capture card, I change capture cards all the time. My current capture card is an Elgato HD60S Plus. That is a mouthful. That was technically a free product I got from Elgato because I bought a cam link back in the day that didn't work. And so they were like, well, if you return it to us, we'll send you an HD60S Plus. How's that sound? And I was like, yeah, okay. So that's a great capture card that, you know, butter smooth, 60 frames per second, no latency. I like it a lot. It's probably more powerful than I need to run like Nintendo Switch games, but it's fine. I like it. It's good. Before that, I was using, I think I still have it on my desk right here. Before that, I was using the Razer Ripsaw, which this thing was really good. I used this for years and years and years, but it just eventually, it started showing its age, and it would just shut off randomly, and so it was just time to get a new one. I've also used like the EVGA, which is a great, if you're looking to get started and you need a capture card, there's a good EVGA capture card that you can get for like $30 to $50 that it made my gameplay look a little washed out, but just after tweaking some video settings, it was fine. Very good, no latency, solid capture card. Again, having an Elgato in my system means everything kind of talks to itself and each other and whatever the heck. But that's the one I'm using currently. Again, I switch capture cards all the time just as I find new ones or get new ones. But the Elgato HD60S Plus is what I'm currently using. That's plugged into my gaming computer, or my streaming computer rather, which is an NZXT Player 2. This was a Christmas gift that I got partially from myself, partially from the revenue I've earned from streaming. But it's a fantastic machine. If I'm playing a newer game that I don't want to run on my streaming laptop because I'm afraid it's not gonna work out as well, like what was I just thinking of? Like Pal World just came out. I think Pal World would chug my laptop a little bit. Then I'll just do a one PC stream where I do it on just this computer, because this computer has like a 4080 in it. It's insane. It's very powerful. I love it. I've only had it a couple of months, but it's great. And helping me control all that stuff, I have an Elgato Stream Deck Plus, which is the one with the knobs on it. I've been using an Elgato Stream Deck for years and years and years now. I upgraded to Stream Deck Plus about a year ago. I got one on sale at PAX East, and I love it. Those things can do so much cool stuff, and I don't even begin to tap into the potential of what these machines can do. They're so good. I love them so much. If you're just getting into streaming, I don't think you need a Stream Deck, but if you've been doing it for a while and you know it's something you want to stick with and you want to start doing some cool creative stuff, I'd recommend one. I actually have a spare one laying around here I've been trying to get rid of, so yeah, it's right here. This was my first Stream Deck, and it's just the classic smaller one. Not the micro one, but like the regular sized one. I don't know, I had this thing for years and years and years, and I don't use it anymore. It's been sitting here collecting dust for over a year. Along with my old green screen too. I've been looking to get rid of both of those things. And then I guess bonus round, if I'm playing a controller game, I like to use a PS5 controller. I love the DualShock. If I'm streaming a Nintendo Switch game, I have the Nintendo Switch OLED model plugged into my capture card. Capture cards only have one input at a time, so if I'm switching between a PC game on my streaming laptop or a PS5 game on my PS5 or a Switch game, I have to, unplug it all or whatever. I have a switchboard over here that splits my mouse and keyboard inputs so I can use this one mouse and one keyboard on both computers. And you just push a button, it just swaps. So if I'm streaming, I'm setting everything up on my stream PC, and then I press the button, and now my mouse and keyboard are working on my game PC. It's a U green, like letter U green, mouse and keyboard HDMI switch, and it's really cool. I've been using that thing for like 2 years, and it's solid. So, but that's more or less my setup. The chair is this. I don't like racer style chairs. I never have. I had one for a while because it was cheap. But they are cheap. I don't like the racer style chairs like those. Nothing against the companies, but like DX Racer and stuff like that. Not a fan of them. This is an office chair. This is a Herman Miller office chair. And it's the best chair I've ever had in my entire life. So I'd recommend getting a good office chair if you're gonna be sitting at a desk. I think that's everything. OBS is the streaming software I use. That's everything, right? Oh, mouse and keyboard, I guess. My mouse is a Razer Death Adder. Barely see it. A Razer Death Adder. It's pretty much Razer's cheapest mouse, I think. This is the second one I've had. I think it's probably the last one I'll have. Nothing against Razer, but I just have other companies I've been wanting to try. And then this keyboard that I'm using, I can't pick it up because the cables are too short, but it's the Black Widow Elite. I basically looked up what's the loudest mechanical keyboard I can find, and this was one of the more affordable options that popped up. I love a good loud mechanical keyboard, so that's what I bought. And like I said, a lot of this stuff were gifts. This microphone was a gift. The arm that this microphone's connected to. So my mother-in-law got me the microphone. My mom bought me my microphone arm for Christmas last year. This webcam was a surprise Christmas gift from my wife 2 years ago. These lights were Valentine's Day gifts. I have 2 gaming monitors. I bought those both myself. The Stream Deck Plus I bought myself, but it was on sale. The Go XLR I bought used from some guy who bought it during COVID because he invested a ton of money into a streaming setup because he was like, I'll just be a professional streamer, and learned the lesson that having a professional setup doesn't make you a professional streamer. And he quit after like 2 weeks and was selling all his stuff secondhand, and I bought his Go XLR for like half price. But yeah, that's my setup. If you want me to go into more detail on any of my gear or equipment, you can feel free to ask in the comments down below. I also kind of want to know what you guys are running in your setups. You know, what are you gaming on these days? What equipment do you have? What do you like? Are there other microphones? I'm looking to upgrade this thing once I get some more money at some point. And there's another Audio-Technica microphone I have my eye on. But if you guys have other microphones that you would recommend, let me know. That's going to be it for me. You can also swing by any of my live streams. I stream here on YouTube as well as on Twitch and sometimes TikTok. For now, I'm probably going to expand that maybe to Kick or Facebook someday. And just ask questions there. You don't have to wait for me to make a video. You can just swing by and ask questions. So that's it for me. I'm going to go ahead and bounce now and probably go work out. I love you all. Jesus loves you. Hope you have a good one. Thanks for watching the video. We'll catch you next time.